accomplishments and that sort of thing. So if there's things that we need, now's a good time to ask for them.
Yeah, now's your shopping opportunity as well.
They made me beaver tail stew.
They did. I do remember that. Anything you wanted, that's what you asked for.
Yeah.
Might have a taste of vanilla there.
I think it was probably one of the best meals you've had in a long time because you guys have been on the road for weeks and weeks on end and finally made your way back to Restov. So I know you guys were doing a little recap there, but last session you made your way actually from Novatka's crossing to Restov, and I had a little bit of an encounter at the gate, and it was picked up upon during that time that you were legitimate and that your claim to have fell the Stag Lord was true, and you were ushered to the Aldori Manor where Lady Jamandi welcomed you, and they gave you some time to really get cleaned up and rested and fed and informed a little bit of, I guess, just a little bit of the local politics, but you haven't got to dive too deep into any of it just yet. You did talk briefly with Tartuccio, who made way here prior to your arrival, had let everyone know you were on your way, was his what he talked about, and then you feasted, I believe. And what else am I missing? Anything else that we touched on, guys, that you want to mention?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the art is a little bit updated. I did generate new images for the whole party because I needed you to be unequipped with weapons, and all your other art had weapons drawn. So we changed up the art just so that we could have that hold true, but you're not walking around with your weapons in this case, the point. And I think when you arrived here, you were given your weapons back, but I think you realized it was the common courtesy was not to be walking around with your weapons. Maybe your armor, that's up to you, but certainly not with swords in your hip. But yeah, that we'll pick up there where you guys are in the feast hall here. You've been given some stewards who will help you gather supplies if you need guidance getting in and around town. You'll have some help pointing you in the right direction, making sure you can get a hold of whatever it is you might be needing. I think narratively, everyone should have leveled up, and the idea here is that you've had a little bit of time to train and maybe re-equip and focus yourself on anything else that you wanted to learn. So everybody is now, what level are we, guys? Yes. All
I
right.
am 4. Am I supposed to be 5?
You're
Or did I-
actually, yeah, you should be 5
was
now.
thinking.
You should be 5 now, but I'll let
Okay,
you.
I'll level it up after this session then.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, so I guess starting with that, anybody have any orders of business they were interested in?
Ring of fire resistance, but I've never been able to figure out how good of a fire resistance it is. Is that something I can ask around? Is there somebody that's in the employ of the castle here that I could go check in on?
Yes, indeed. Yes, there is a actual little oddity shop that you can go to get some free assessments of magical items like that. So that's definitely something that if you want to make your way out into Restov to get some more information about that ring, you can do that. I have a feeling others might be interested in getting out and about. I know, Sydney, you had mentioned about, and I think we're procuring a couple of items, right?
Yes, there were 2 wands and some scrolls. Similar magic item shop situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so it sounds like there's probably some business in general to attend to. How about the other guys? Do you have any interest in getting out to, whether it's a...
Yeah, I was looking to get some runes put on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up which wands. I think just some basic weapon and armor runes.
Let's see.
Reckla would like to, when you have a chance, he's got something he'd like to identify.
All right. Okay, so Lady Jamandi is mentioning to you that there will be a contingent of people visiting, and there will be more dignitaries that will want to have meetings with you about the future of your kingdom and their interests and all of those fun things. So she gives you a couple of days to get out and acquire these things, and again complete the training that you would have needed to level up narratively. And so it's been a day or two that say that you've been in Restov between last session and here the beginning of this session, and you guys can get over to the shop. Let's see, 1 second if I can get you all on the other screen as well. Here we go. So you make your way out. There is a steward who is able to walk you to the door and, escort you to the building where you can walk in and have a look around in this sort of almost an oddity shop, but definitely has some magical components mixed around as well that are noticeable. So for those of you that are so inclined, there is a older gentleman that appears to be straightening and cleaning and moving things constantly while you're here, even though there's nobody else here. He's working feverishly, and you come in and he doesn't even really seem to notice you. For a second you might not be sure that he worked there, but I think after a while you realize that he's definitely the proprietor and an oddball in and of himself. But he says, after a moment, he says, if you're going to have a look at anything, do be careful.
Yeah.
Sydney's going to immediately start like perusing through and touching stuff. She's not necessarily everything, moving it around or anything like that, but just she goes through it like she's been here before, like she knows what's up, and is very focused in terms of what she's going on. In particular, she paused through probably like a couple drawers maybe that have wands and stuff in them, and also through maybe a couple folios or something that have like scrolls or something in it. And I'm just like going through it and like very specifically like pulling out one, putting it down, and then like looking for another one, pulling out one, putting it down. I definitely look like I know what I'm looking for.
Nice. And you're able to find quite a lot of interesting things to that end. Quite a few interesting artifacts, little wands and rods and rings and amulets and trinkets that sort of adorn different sections of this place. But if you're wanting him to look at is it a ring, Joe? Is that what the Fenwarden has?
Yeah, he wants to show him his ring. He'll compliment him on his shop and the things that he has there. He's also looking to see if by any chance he sees any arrows sticking out of a bin or a bucket or something like that around there. Any arrows that might be special. But yeah, then he'll say, I've got this ring that I like, but I'm not exactly sure what it is, and I'm wondering if you might have even so much expertise that you could even tell me more about it.
Oh, a magic ring you bring. I see. Take a look at it. It's quite dirty. Filthy, really. Where has this thing been?
Yeah, to many places and events it has been, and as have we.
And from where did you find it?
This ring was, I think, part of, in the region and holding of what used to belong to the Stag Lord.
I see. And I think we established before that this did come from. I don't know that it was the Stag Lord, but it was one of his, I believe, minions. So I'm just double checking.
And I know it's fire resistance, but I don't know how much.
Aha! This is in fact a ring of energy resistance, by way of which fire has chosen you. to do less harm, and in this case, this would be a minor ring of energy resistance, which grants 10 points of resistance.
Very good. May I pay you for your knowledge?
Oh, don't pay me. Pay the jar. Pay the jar. And it'll point. You'll actually see there's like this jar with coins that don't even make sense that go just like all sorts of coins and oddities in this one sort of bowl that has a couple jars sitting in it. And if he sees you put anything in any of the jars, he's quite pleased.
Okay,
with
I'm
himself.
going to put in the jar 1 silver piece and 1 marble. For my
Oh,
second.
yeah, you definitely get a really glowing smile from him as he sees you drop more than a coin in there. But yeah, he'll continue to keep cleaning and moving things unless you all are interrupting him or asking him for anything specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Reckla would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
I'll just ask him if he's got any interesting arrows that he'd like me to take off his hands, and I will promise to keep them clean.
Arrows, I see. Make a perception check.
Okay, Fenwarden is going to use the skill he's just learned, which is Eat Ageless Patience. And so he will take a little extra time for his perception check to look around and add +2 to his perception check. So it's an 18.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, you notice that he takes offense to the question, and maybe after looking around quite a bit, you don't see anything that like of any sort of weapon at all in here. It's like almost like you start to get the sense that this guy thinks that magical means is more pure than weaponry, and so like he just frowns upon weapons. And again, like you don't even have your weapons, right? You're just walking around with your guide. And so maybe you're starting to notice too, like the culture in this district of Restov is very much like that. Whereas they almost don't think much of it unless you're like a sword lord and from the one of the noble houses. It's really just unusual and almost frowned upon. It's unusual to him. He takes a little bit of offense. He's not upset, but you stick out a little bit culturally at that point.
Of course not. Okay. All right. I will just continue to look around.
So Reckla would like to ask, perhaps you could spend a moment and see if this amulet is a riddle to you, as it is to me. I retrieved it from a necromancer, and it does have necromantic magic to it.
He will say, "We'll set it down then," and he'll look at it from afar and say, "You say it's from a necromancer. How did you come about it?"
Amongst the lonely barrow, we stumbled across an Urgathoan priest or cultist. I'm not sure what exactly he was, but he was raising the dead. His name was Xandros.
Let's see. Yeah, I think make a perception check, Reckla. Just notice like he seems to not want to pick it up right away until he like hears more about the potential lore of it. But when you mention the name Xandros, he definitely raises an eyebrow. And the Urgathoan, the mention of Urgathoans, and he says to you is, what was your encounters like with these Urgathoans? Where was this?
We came across them several times. Actually, I believe Xandros, we came across them in the Sootscale mines.
So they've made it that far north.
They have.
What else creeps northward?
Pitax. Or, is that their name?
Yeah. He may not have been prompted as to who you are, but I think he's pieced it together now. in
Mhm.
the interactions that you've had between claiming to have the Stag Lord's ring and talking about seeing Ergothoans, and he'll pick up the it's an amulet, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, he'll pick up the amulet and start to take a closer look now that he understands all that, and he seems to, whatever sort of demeanor he had about being asked for magic arrows has washed away. He seems to be very intrigued, more intrigued about your group now than he was. Stops cleaning a little bit and takes a closer look at this. So I'll look.
Sydney's gonna try and beat him to the punch. I have a feat quick identification, so I guess normally it takes 10 minutes to do identification, but I can do it in a minute, and I'm gonna see if I can beat him to the punch.
Okay, all right. Let me find the description and I'll send it to you.
I'm assuming it's an Arcana,
It is, yeah.
so that's gonna do it.
There's a solid feat at higher levels. Takes no time at all to identify things.
That is
6
nice.
seconds.
That is nice. Did you feel any effects of this while wearing it, or have you worn it? I guess that's the other question.
No, I did not wear it. I only carried it.
Okay. I'm trying to find the description. I have it in my note here, but anyone else inquiring or looking for anything in particular in the shop while he and Sydney are trying to pin down what this amulet is?
I assume that they don't do. Maybe they do runes here, but I'll look around for runes anywhere that they have. If they have a runestone formula or something.
Yes, and they do have quite a selection of rune stones out. And what effect are you hoping to find?
I was looking for a striking rune, and an armor potency rune.
All right, so let me see what the
Fenwarden would also like to check out the armor potency runes.
I think those might be a little out of our price range, but I figured I'd give it a shot.
Might be. And if there is one and it's close, Fenwarden will go in and buy one for Dallett. He's always going to be in front of me anyways. So might as well be my armor.
benefits everyone involved.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are working with a little bit of credit right here, having been celebrated in town and everything. So I'd say you could get a striking rune. Basically, if you wanted a greater striking rune, you would have to pay for it. It would be heavily discounted, but it would be about 600 gold for a greater striking rune. So that's an option there.
We got 2 platinum.
I was going to ask what the party loot looked like these days.
Party loot, we're sitting at 811 gold, 1719 silver, 1245 copper.
It just seems to me we haven't had so much trouble inflicting damage as we have having Dallett getting killed. If we have to choose, I'd rather see about an armor potency rune.
That's fair.
That's true if you're getting down to that. So let's see what the armor one would look like. I think it's going to be a pretty similar situation where there'd be a lesser version of it that would be available to you.
Who has got? I'm going to whisper to my comrades in turn and trying to figure out who's got the best. I guess it's diplomacy that we're going to be using here to strike a deal.
I got plus 11.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
All right, so Dallett's talking to him right now. Fenwarden will go over to Reckla, and I'm going to hand Reckla my tracker's goggles and tell him I think this is the kind of oddity that he may be very interested in.
Let's see. All right, so let me switch back real quick while I'm getting the other runes figured out for you. The amulet is studied for a few moments, and it's definitely something that after a moment or two occurs to, I think, both simultaneously to the shopkeeper and to Sydney, that this would be called a amulet of grasping souls, and essentially what happens is the wearer of the amulet, if the wearer of the amulet takes the life of someone, he is able to trap its soul in the amulet.
How many souls can we trap?
But
Just one? Is there a limit to how many?
It would be one at a time. You can expend basically the soul will turn into power for the wearer, and
Okay.
you would expel the power granted by that single soul that was trapped until you could then trap
Gotcha.
another. Yeah, so right now I think what is less known to him, and what Sydney it doesn't know either, is if there is a soul currently occupying it or not. And also, what would this power of that soul be?
Mm.
So that isn't apparent to either of them.
Mm-hmm. Is there any way to free the soul that he knows of?
It would be you could speak with the soul. You could take it to someone who could speak with it to find out what its purpose was or what happened to it potentially. That's one way. Or I guess if potentially had the means or a wish or something of that effect, you could potentially bring the person back. Yeah, I don't know what else you might.
Yeah, those are good leads. All right, that sounds awful.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sydney is very much not excited
We're
about
gonna
it.
save that for someone real special.
Maybe that would be useful. I wonder if that would be useful for a regenerating creature like a troll or something like that. If once he was down, you could grab his soul, then he couldn't get back up again. That'd be handy.
That's an interesting use case.
I think we'll
It sounds
throw
evil
that.
with a capital E.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
Well,
it does.
romantic.
It does give that vibe off as well. I think that there would be some moral dilemmas with using it for most people, and it's necrotic magic, so it's necromantic magic. It's definitely a darker side. I don't know, Reckla, do you have necromantic? Are you necromantic?
He's capable of casting necromantic spells.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So you would think that you would either if you would either have to have some ability to dabble in those arts to
Right.
use it.
Okay, and then since he's got his attention, he'll bring up the tracker's goggles and see how interested he is in those.
I'll give him some aid on that if he's rolling for diplomacy.
Okay, go ahead. I guess we'll try that. See how that works.
Nice.
So what were you gonna ask specifically?
I guess what their value is.
And these were, which one was this?
Joe, the tracker's goggles, where did those come from? Do you recall?
Oh, let's see. Boy, I've had those a long time. That was one of the first games.
Okay. Oh, let me see if I can. So it's been
Just-
that long. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes me know exactly what chapter to go back to here.
Go lay down.
Yeah, so this one, I don't remember either whose it was at the moment, but it is like a worn eyepiece that gives enhanced tracking to the wearer and a +1 to survival checks as well. Let's see, while wearing the goggles, the tracker also has dark vision, and if the wearer already has dark vision, it's extended by 30 feet.
Oh, didn't know that.
And let's see, what else is there? Once per day, the wearer can activate the goggles to ignore the effects of magical abilities or spells like Pass Without Trace or Meld into Stone. That way you can track something through that may leave no sign, basically. But the value of these is about 150 gold.
Alright, they belong to my friend. Let me just double check that he is comfortable with that price. What do you think? You want to keep them or you want to sell them?
50 gold. Yeah, I was wondering if we could barter with them and get a good rune or something.
Yeah, so we'll leave that on the table for now. You guys can decide what you want to do with that when you get to look at the runes. Let's see, the different choices of runes that you have, and there's quite a few armor runes to pick from. I guess what flavor you're looking for may or may not be available, but they've got the resilience rune, which gives, what is this, savings throws bonuses. So if you're
Yeah.
looking for a savings throw bonus, there is a rune to grant that. There's also a fortification rune that when you get critically hit, it has a 25 chance to turn that into a normal hit. Nice if you're getting hit with a lot of criticals, or you feel like you're getting hit with a lot of criticals, it gives you a way out, a 25% chance out. And then there are also like energy resistance. So similar to Joe's ring or Fenwarden's ring, you could pick an element, fire, cold, acid, and have resistance to that particular energy. And then the last one is a thing called the Nature's Shield, which gives a resistance to poison and disease. And it also gives a +1 to nature checks. So quite a few options. I think that's 4 or 5. 4 options. Yeah, 4 options. Resilience, fortification, energy resistance, and nature's shield.
Let's see for the nature shield one. Just because the ranger might be interested in that.
Yeah, here, I'll put that into chat,
Okay.
and I'm gonna create a handout for the amulet with its description as well.
Sorry, Ben, cut you off there.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just wondering. I was going to talk to him and inquire how much for the greater resiliency rate.
Okay, greater resiliency was, let's see. These are greater, let's say they do it for 1600.
Jesus.
Now, if you've got other things to offer that could bring that price down, but that's a good deal. That's actually a really good deal.
Oh god, yeah, no, that's fair. I had been
Sticker shock.
mixing those prices up in my brain. And, all right, is it like the 600 for is it a normal resiliency rune?
Say that again.
Is it 600 for a normal resiliency rune?
No, it's normally 340 for a normal one, giving you like your own personal credit, each of you. So if you're wanting to kind of use that, you can discount that resilient rune to 100 gold. That would be a normal, which is a really good deal. You're not going to find them cheaper unless you kill someone and take it off of them.
There's always that.
Yeah. You can definitely get those. Anyone else interested in any other runes or any of the runes we mentioned?
I'll get the basic striking rune for now.
Okay, so you want to get that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I feel like getting the greater striking rune is more of a conversation than we would have in this shop.
And,
Okay.
and what was the price for the basic striking runes?
They were 65. They're 65 normally, but you basically would each have about that much in credit here. If you want to use your credit towards that, you can then take a striking rune.
Yeah. Fenwarden will take a striking rune and put it on his flail.
Oh. I will also ask this guy if he has any healing potions.
Healing potions. Let's see about healing potions. They're always coming and going so fast. Let's see. I'm sure he has some. Let's see how many he has. Let's see. He has minor through greater. So minors are cheap. They're 4 gold piece potions. They do 1d8. And then the lessers are 12 gold pieces. They do 2d8 plus 5. Moderates are 50 gold pieces. They do 3d8 plus 10. and graders are 300 gold pieces. They do 68 plus 20. So it depends on what you're looking for, but he's got several different ranges.
Can I get 1 lesser and 2 minor healing potions?
Let's see, yeah, he has that in inventory. So 1 lesser and 2 minor. Is that what?
Yeah, I think that's
Yep.
20 gold by my math.
Yep.
Cool, cool. And while I'm talking,
Does anyone
Oh.
need petty cash? Because there's.
that was something I was curious about. Do we want to buy a supply of healing potions for the party?
We
think
might
we
as
should.
well.
Or
I mean,
distribute. Are you suggesting to distribute your petty cash? Or was that?
we could do that too. It'd be easier to keep track of in some ways.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna spend their money a little differently. They might want to distribute what you have, and then if you always want to pull it together, it's easy to do.
Yeah. All right. So we got 811 gold. So everybody gets 200 gold. And
Keep the 11 in party inventory. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
and then we've got 1719 in silver. Somebody else do that math.
71 gold, and we can chip in 1 silver to make it 172. Divided 4 ways is 60 a pop, and then you've got 12 left. You can divide that, so it'd be 63 a pop.
Okay, say that again.
It's 63 a pop if you want to get rid of all of it. If one person, I'll chuck in a silver, right?
Okay.
63 gold worth.
Transfer.
Gold worth. So it's
Turn it into
630
gold.
each.
Okay.
Oh, that's. Did you say it was? 17?
1,719.
Sorry, 53. I carried an extra 1. 53.
Gotcha.
Because it would be 40 times 4 is 160, which is 1,600. The difference is 130 divided by 3. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, 43. I carried the 1 twice. I apologize. 43. 43. Sorry, my napkin math is not good this day.
No worries.
We all
I just-
believed you because you were just the first person to
Yeah,
say it.
no,
and I was
you're
like,
good. I was
Nobody
like-
else
I was
wanted
like-
to do any math. So
I was
it
doing the
like-
check back up, and I'm like, no, that's adding up close to 2,000. And I was like, no, we're
Yeah.
off by a little bit. Yeah, it's 43 a pop.
I was letting you work through that, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's too high.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
was.
and then we'll convert the copper into silver, so everybody gets 30 silver. That's it for our coinage. We have 2 platinum, but that'll just stay in party inventory too. Okay. Cool.
I just love the idea too that you guys are like in the shop doing this too. It's, here, you take this. You what's the number again? How many? Give 10
no,
back.
No, yeah, you pushed 2 stacks to me. I only needed
Right.
1 stack.
So it sounds like you've divvied out the proceeds of adventure and combined that with your own coinage that you might have, so that may set some of you free to decide what you want to spend your money on. I'll say that you have about a 75, we'll call it a 75 gold piece credit. Some of you have already used and others you still have, so you might as well pick something up, or you could carry it forward if there's another place you want to visit.
I'm not honestly
I'm
real
gonna-
familiar with how runes work. Do they work? You can put a rune onto armor
Or weapons.
Yeah.
or weapons.
Yeah, let me drop a link in the chat real quick. That's the rules for runes, but also contains all of the runes possible through any
Okay.
Pathfinder book.
All right, because I think I'm leaning towards getting one of those, either the energy resistance or the resilience one.
I don't know what the specific energy resistance one was. But there's armor potency runes give you a +1. Resilience absorbs damage, I think. I will get I think an armor potency rune should be about 160, Jamie.
Yeah.
Okay. And just as a clarification, do we have to pay somebody to etch those onto our stuff too?
That'll be a part of the collective credit that you'll have. So no, you don't. But normally you would,
Yeah.
in order to add a rune to an item, you'd have to have a crafter with Arcana or Nature or Religion who could attach the rune for you. But in this case,
Okay.
that'll be a part of the whole thing.
I like that.
Is there an additional armor
The armor
just the-
potency rune, let's see, what did we
just the one that he got, or
say here? It was, well, there was resilience, fortification, energy resistance, and then the nature's shield.
oh, okay. So there actually wasn't an armor potency rune.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Is there a lesser healing potion left? I'd like to pick one of those up.
Yes, yeah, those are 12 gold. Yep. And again, I don't know if you've used your credits or not, so you think about if you're
I
going to or not. Okay.
I'm gonna have to actually pay for that one, which is fine. Okay, I'll grab that. That's the lesser.
Running a little low, he starts to say as he sees the drawer emptying. Note to self. Anyone else have business they'd like to attend to with this?
Yeah, so I already had a pile on the counter that I had unceremoniously just dumped, which is probably not exactly the best treatment of precious magical artifacts. But then I got handed more money, and so I'm back to shopping again and grabbing more shit. What is the wand situation and the scroll situation? I sent a few of them to you in Discord that we've been talking back and forth with. Are those all available or not available?
Yeah, I definitely wanted all of these to be available to you here. So as far
Okay.
as cost, let me figure out what the going rate is before I quote you on it. But they're definitely affordable, the scrolls are.
Yeah, so with that in mind.
Yeah, so the scrolls would be 4 gold for first level, 12 gold for second level.
Yep, and then 30 for the thirds, and then 60 for the level 1 wands, and 70 for the
Yeah.
level 1 wand.
Yeah,
and
but
the
but
160.
specifically the ones you listed, mending and all the way to translate, those are all available. Yeah.
Okay. And then above that, the wands of heal 1, long strider 2.
Yes, as well.
Okay.
Yeah. That I need to just figure out what the cost was real quick. Let's see.
You had mentioned making that more or less equal to the bag of the 5 gemstones, and I'm still cool with that if you want to just call that math good enough.
Yeah, actually I think that's fine. I think that was perfect.
It would have
If
worked
you-
out really
Oh
close.
yeah. And if you start dropping gemstones in his jar, he'll
Yeah,
be grinning ear to ear.
cool. So she's gonna come back with another pile of goodies, and I'm gonna figure out what those piles of goodies are. But already on the counter is 8 scrolls and 2 wands, and then she's gonna go back and get another wand. And there is an item. 1 second. Occults.
Did you decide what you're gonna do with the goggles?
Hold on to him.
Okay.
Okay, this item in particular, can I find this in the shop? It's a pendant of the occult. It is an item level 3, 60 gold point.
Let's see.
Is that something that's in the shop available?
Yeah, this is fairly common. These are fairly common. I guess the question is this tied to anything specifically? Yeah, okay, yeah, this would be available. And
Okay.
one of these is about 60 gold for a pendant.
Yep. So I'm gonna grab that off of the little necklace thing that he's got going on. Pull that, and then I'm gonna go dig back in the drawer. And is there a invisibility wand of invisibility? A level 2 wand.
Let's see.
Item level is. He said not really known. He had the level 2 long strider, so I'm assuming he has this one too. I feel like this is a pretty common.
Yeah, it
invisibility
is.
level.
It is. These are 500.
Oh, they're 500. They're not 160.
Yeah, no, they're 500.
Okay. And she will see that price tag in bulk. But I will get that pendant and then add that to the pile and grab 4 more scrolls. And I'll send those to you. It's a resist energy, water breathing, enlarge, and shrink. Actually, a fifth one too, invisibility sphere. That's a 3rd level if that one's available.
Yeah, those are all common. Yeah, they would be available.
Then I will grab those and I will do the math on what that ends up being on the total real quick.
Anyone else got money to burn? Or credit to spend, as it might be? Okay. Sounds like Sydney would need like a big burlap sack to put everything in at the counter. It's like he's got to go and find some supply.
Potentially, but she will very unceremoniously. So it's going to be that necklace, 2 wands, and then a pile of scrolls. She's literally just going to fold them up and jam them in a book.
Nice. Yeah.
Just like
have something
the book opened up a little bit because it's like stretching the binding on it. Yeah, you can get a sense that she does not take good care of her stuff.
Nice. Yeah, he's almost like now pretending to clean and like looking at the jar with all the new coins and jewels that have been dropped in there, like almost like he's waiting for you to leave so he can go and look at them more closely. But if there's nothing else with our friend Vardis here, you can see yourselves out and be escorted elsewhere, or any other business to attend to for the party.
Nope, that'll be it. Sydney will drop a bag of gems. There's 5 gemstones in a little burlap in a little coin pouch, and then she will throw a pile of coin. I guess another one, mainly the coin that she was just given, but she'll count it out and give it. In total, we're looking at 26 less the 75, and then that bag of coins for the 2 wands that we are, or the bag of gems for the 2 wands.
Big spenders from the south. Welcome back anytime. And yeah, with that, you guys can make your way back out to the streets of Restov. I think at this point, you might be, and it's up to you all, if you have other business to attend to outside of the Aldori Manor, we can jump there. If not, if you want to head back to the manor, it's up to you.
The only thing I can think of is we still don't know what happened to Voldarius, but I don't know whether we're going to get that answer. Yeah, I think Reckla's done with his business.
Let's see, I guess there would be there might be a spell or something that could help divine that. I don't know. I'm trying to think what Vardis would say if you mentioned that in the shop, for example.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Sydney on her way out. Like, she's already got all her stuff. We conducted transaction, and then she's going to go, hey, can you got another one of these? And she's going to hold up the level 1 heal wand. Would you sell it to me for, say, 50 gold? That's like a 10 gold discount.
You could try a diplomacy check.
Okay. Not exactly.
Or deception if you're, trying to say it's cracked or it's inferior quality or something along those lines. I'd buy that.
Sure.
Yeah, he'll take your offer. At this point, I think you've given him some oddities and new trinkets to look at, so he's indifferent to the discount.
So I'm hoping he sees me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will pick up a second one of those as well.
All right, then I think it sounds like then you guys might be done with this. You step back outside then, and we'll say it's getting darker earlier, which it's been doing lately, and your steward who was waiting on you pops up. You were in there quite a while. Did you find everything you wanted?
The sad thing is, no, we did not.
Oh,
She's very happy. She's beaming ear to ear.
But oh, by the gods, if Vardis doesn't have it, I don't know we have it within these city walls. But is there anywhere else I could take you? Or shall we head back to the manor and prepare for another meal, I'm sure?
Yeah, I prefer the meal to more shopping.
I think we should go back, yes.
Very good. They start bringing you along again towards the city center where Lady Jamandi's manor is, and some of the other notable structures in the city of Restov are. Let me have everyone make a perception check, please, on your walk, on your stroll home here.
Also, in case it's applicable, I just got this new feat.
You just wanted to show that off.
Well,
I'm kidding.
kinda.
That's
So-
actually going to come in pretty handy around
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah. So all of three of you notice that it looks like you're being tracked and followed by a pair of humans that aren't doing the best job of hiding the fact that they're following you from a distance at this point, so they're not overhearing you or what you're saying, but you just definitely start to get the sense that they're tracking you as you're moving through the city, and your
Paparazzi.
steward is walking in front of you, for the most part unaware and oblivious, and talking about dinner and whatnot. Anything that you guys want to do as you're making your way and noticing this?
I'm going
Or-
to try and actually slip away. If everyone else is talking to the steward and the steward isn't really paying too much attention, I'm going to try and slip through the crowd and see if I can double back around them and start following them.
I'll give him aid by distracting the steward and drawing a little attention to conversation.
All right. Let's do a roll then for Sydney doing her cutback here.
Yeah, that's the stealth she just rolled.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
Like she did pretty well.
Here's the streets at dusk here. Yes, you did. You're able to find a group of traders who are standing in a way where you're able to use them as an obstruction and slip out of the pack. And sure enough, those that are following don't notice, and they continue to follow the group, giving you a little
And I'm
bit
going
of
to
closer
continue to
view.
try and follow them unnoticed. The group, then them, then me.
All right, perfect. As you're making your way through the streets back towards the center of city, make a perception check. This will just be Sydney. Okay. So Sydney, you spot a couple of unusual people posted on some rooftops up ahead that seem to be making some hand signals and gestures towards the two in front of you.
So
And
I'm going to do this for the
you're-
first time ever. I'm going to use my message. I'm going to use conceal. I'm still going to use that. So hopefully nobody notices that I'm making any magical doings. But then I'll use my message cantrip to relay that information to Reckla. And just Reckla.
All right, what will you say in your message?
I'm gonna be like, hey Reckla, there's some folks up on the roof. Y'all might have company here in a second. And it'll be, hey boss, because I don't use anyone's names.
Hey, boss. So the wind picks up for a second, and you hear this voice in your ear, Reckla. You know right away that it's Sydney, and she means business. So if you all go ahead, or the ones in front, go ahead and make your perception checks now, and give you a chance to spot what he's seeing now that he's. And I assume Reckla, you would say, or.
I think he'd immediately say, Fenwarden, train your eyes on the rooftops.
And we're not armed right now, are we?
You're not. Unless you just bought something. But you
Right.
didn't because there were no weapons.
That's right.
Yeah. You definitely spot them, Reckla and Fenwarden. You both spot two of the the two spots in front of you where they have people set up, and it looks like they indeed have crossbows. From your distance, you can definitely see that. So why don't we go ahead and we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll roll initiative and get into some alleyway chaos here in Restov.
Jamie, on my character sheet, I specifically have a corset knife. Would have that been removed from my person, or would I still be wearing my corset knife? I'm a lady who is regular to back alley brawling, so I imagine I would have kept it on unless it was specifically asked off of me.
No, I think that's one of those hidden weapons that they wouldn't have sought that. They wouldn't have sought that from you. So you definitely have that.
Cool.
All right, we'll give it a few minutes. We'll be back. All right.
Cool.
All right.
I spent my break getting to know my new roommate.
OMG. Oh, no way. Awesome.
This is Uvi.
Ah.
Uvi. What's up, Uvi? How old's Uvi? It's pretty young.
About 6, 7 months.
Nice. Nice. Fun.
Have they climbed you yet?
No, she's real timid. You gotta teach her to come out and play. She was a street cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she'll be. You'll have to teach her to trust again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Let me bring us over to the map, and I'll bring up the turn order. Should be good to go. The folks on the rooftop you spot are up on either side of you here ahead, and then Sydney's in the far back behind these two gentlemen who are trailing the party here, the rest of the party, and your steward here, who's just obliviously leading you through this ambush, not noticing it. I think Dallett didn't notice it yet either, but the others have, so you all will be able to act. And let me sort us. And it looks like, Sydney, you're going to go first regardless because of the fact that you are the one that's seeing the motion, and you get your message underway. And then, let's see, where are we at? Adding turn. All right, I think we got it now. So I think in this case, Dallett wouldn't probably know about the guys on the rooftop just yet. But Dallett, you would be first to act here. So I don't know realistically what you would suspect at this point or told to you.
Reckla did say to Fenwarden to look at the rooftops. That might have drawn some attention.
Yeah, but I get what the check revealed, though, is that Dallett didn't see him. Because he didn't. So I think, like, he heard they're on the roofs, but, like, he doesn't see them. So you could spend your turn trying to spot the ones on the roof or, you know, move into another position, but, like, you wouldn't know about the guys on the rooftop is all I'm getting at yet.
Yeah. I'll probably just move back here to face the ones on the ground.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn for now.
Everyone's all leveled up for this, but doesn't have a weapon to bring to the party.
We
Reckla.
still
So
armor and stuff
do
on,
I
right?
need-
Yeah, you have armor.
I haven't
Okay.
done an initiative check yet. Should I be doing that?
I think, did you not roll? I thought it showed you did.
No.
Oh,
There we go.
it must have had you in there from before.
Oh yeah, I never did an initiative roll either.
Oh, it had you guys in there because, oh, and I see Sydney's in there twice. It's like it's added everyone back in. Who did I delete? Did I delete Dallett? I did. Let me add him back. He was 30. Okay, Reckla, I believe.
Okay. I think Reckla will target this guy and hit him with the daze.
Okay. And he'll get a savings throw attempt here. Okay, he is quite dazed.
Oh,
He's also stunned 1.
Nice.
Fall down.
The one on the north roof, right? That's what.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. You still have an action, I think?
Yeah, I got 1 action left, and I think he'll just prepare shield.
All right, nice. Nicely done. It is now the cutthroat's turn. So this one is dazed, and so what does this mean for him exactly? He cannot do what? He just loses actions, right?
He's dazed and stunned.
Let's see.
He critically failed.
Dazed is like not being able to see clear, and then
Losing actions, yeah.
So he's
You can't act. Oh, he's stunned 1, I think it was, right? Is that what he ended up with? Yeah, so he loses 1 action.
yeah, okay, so I thought it was. I'll start with him since he has the only deficit here. He is gonna fire a crossbow at Fenwarden, actually. 21, does 21 hit?
Nope.
Okay,
25.
let's see.
Fenwarden steps out of the way.
And let's see, he has to reload, so he is done. And I'm just gonna step through then the other one. He's gonna. Looks like they're both targeting you, Fenwarden, first, just because of your position. And another one misses you. This one is going to reload. And he will. Just realized. Hold on a second. I just realized this is. Sorry, I had the wrong one open here. Oh, roll 20. Let me refresh. Come on, baby. It's sometimes if you close things in roll 20, it just decides they're never going to be
Yeah.
able to reopen again.
I've had that
I
happen on
don't
a number of
understand.
occasions.
Okay, there we go. All right, sorry. So he's taking his second attack. His second action was to reload, and his third action is a second attack. And he's gonna miss pretty badly. I don't think that's a critical miss, but he misses you pretty badly on that one. That is it for the two on the rooftop. And the two who are now behind you.
Actually, that is a critical miss on the 13.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right, good.
I've got a
Let's see.
25, so yeah.
Let's see how bad this is for them. Okay, so it starts raining arrows off of the rooftop from the north side there, or actually the south side there. He basically dumps over his quarrel or quiver, and it starts to fall down onto the street below. And let's see, the two on the ground back here, they're gonna step forward. They don't know what they don't know. They're just gonna move forward here, each of them with their first actions, and then they're gonna attack respectively. Reckla first, then Dallett second, one-on-one here. They have, let's see, they have short swords. And let's see, I'm just trying to, there we go. So first one's a Reckla. 21.
21's a hit.
1 point of damage from that slash. Then the other, okay. So you can negate that.
Yeah.
And then his second attack, 19.
19's a hit.
And that is 5 damage. The other one then is on Dallett. He's going to go ahead and do the same, trying to... Ooh, that might be a fumble. Is that a...
That's a critical miss.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so he didn't drop his weapon, but he has stumbled, so he's going to lose an action from that as well. He has one more action, however, and he is going to go ahead and take his second attack with his short sword. And then he's going to fumble again. Let's see what this does. Let's give him the cumulative effect.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to have a +2 to his AC as a result of that. All right, and that is it for the time being for my side of things. It is on to Sydney.
Seeing him fumble away, swinging at Dallett, she's gonna make this attempt. She's going to use her first action to pull out her corset dagger, and then she is going to move to here. And then I will stab him in the back.
I love it.
I believe that makes him off guard or whatever too. So hopefully with all of that, I might be able to hit. I don't have a lot of hope, but
That is a hit.
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, you strike him, causing a nice pierce to his back.
Yeah, stick him in the back.
Definitely with your shank that you're carrying around town, your illegal contraband.
No, a lady just needs to protect herself. You never know when this kind of shit goes down.
Protect yourself by stabbing someone in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Man,
was
that,
gonna
man, I already know who we're gonna hire for the prosecutor. You still have an action, I think.
Nope.
Or no?
Action to pull it out, action to move up, and
Oh, okay.
action
Action to
hit.
pull it out.
That
Yeah.
is all
Okay.
three.
Yeah.
All right. So Sydney is in there now, mixing it up, and I think Fenwarden's next. I'll put Easton after you.
Okay, this dude dropped his stuff, right?
Oh no,
And
this one here on the southern side, I'll put a little arrow on his little arrow icon on him.
okay, he dropped his ammo. Okay, and is the guy on the other side also using a crossbow?
Yeah.
All right. Well, pretty close there. He's going to attempt to climb, get up onto the roof.
Okay. Let's see. So
It's an athletics check against the DC of the wall that he has to climb up.
yeah, so these would be pretty standard. I think this would be like an 18.
All right.
Not a problem for an
Not a
elf.
problem. He's on the roof. It's a 5 foot per action. So I don't know. Probably takes 2 actions to get up there.
Yeah, that would be right. So you'd still, I guess that would have been all 3 of your actions, huh? Yeah.
You had to step up to it and then climb up to the top of that thing. Yeah, I guess he's just on the roof. I'll put him a little more on there.
Yeah, there you go. You're safe. At least it's sloped, but your feet are on it and you're not hanging from it. You have a position where you're looking now down a little bit towards the others. Let's see. What about Easton? Where is Easton in this mix? Is he following you? Would he be back at the manor? I don't know, because he was in the turn order anyway, so I figured I'd just leave him there and ask you.
No, he's not with us. I don't think I'd be walking around with these.
Yeah, it'd be a little unusual, but I didn't want to. He could have maybe turned alley cat for a while, but all right.
Go find some something. Find himself something to eat. Might be interesting, but yeah, see what he comes back with.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. All right, so maybe he comes back with a purple gnome. You never know. The right one. Let's hope.
Yeah, that one.
All right, Dallett, you now know what's going on, and you're face to face with a couple of these guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking at my thing. So I'm going to take a gauntlet strike at.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I disappeared from the turn order here.
Oh yeah, you were ahead of me.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to be right after Fenwarden.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were 30. I have you in
No,
there
I
as
was
a 30.
13.
My bad. My bad.
No
I
worries.
deleted the wrong one. I deleted the
Yeah.
old one. Okay. Sorry, we'll back up. Reckla.
All right, cool. I'm gonna do a bad touch on him.
Ooh, okay. This is the one right here. Okay.
Yeah, the one that swung
Okay.
on me.
All right. So, fortitude, crit fail.
That's only
Oh, I see, for undead.
makes a difference if
So chill touch for him is 10 damage. Okay. All right.
and then with final act or action, I'll give guidance to Dallett.
Nice. Alright.
All right. Now it's Dallett's turn. It's a good way to
Cool.
segue.
So I'm going to use my swipe feet to attack both of them at once.
Here we go.
I love it.
And then attack with my gauntlets that I never get to attack with. Terrible. So do those.
Ooh. Jesus. What did you do? Okay, so you're punching this one here.
Yeah, I guess my primary target's going to be that one, and then but with swipe I get to attack both of them.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the one that engaged you is the gauntlet strike, and then they're both okay.
Yeah.
So I think you have to roll to hit twice and damage once. Is that the way that works?
I thought that it was one attack roll,
It reads like
and
it's
it
one.
could be applied to up to 2 foes.
So that doesn't make sense because the 2 could have different armor classes and everything.
Yeah.
It says you use the same damage for both of them.
Yeah.
It depends
Well,
which
I
one.
also wonder if how this works with a unarmed attack. If there's a limit to that for that reason.
I think you reach out and grab one guy by the side of the head and pound his head into the next guy.
Yeah, I could see it definitely being even just a wide swing.
It was like a haymaker.
Yeah, I could see it.
Make a wide arcing swing is the flavor to begin the feat.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it definitely hits both of them. It definitely hits both.
Cool.
And then it
I think
does.
I still have to apply the multiple attack penalty? Yeah, okay, cool. Counts as 2 attacks, so I'm doing essentially a 3rd attack now.
Now wait a second. This is the one. So the one that Sydney hit is looking like they're hurting pretty bad, just for the record.
Cool.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Alright, so that one that's hurting badly, I will try for a combat grab on. Despite the fact this is probably not gonna land. There we go. Oh, maybe.
That just misses.
He also
Oh, you
has
have-
the 2 AC penalties, and he's
You've
got
got never mind. I was gonna say you've got him flanked also, and he's got the double AC penalty. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
this is actually a strike.
Yeah. Yeah, plus the guidance.
A guidance is only good for one of your attacks.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have to call it beforehand too. You have to decide when you're going to use it.
Ah. I don't think I read
When
that
it matters.
exactly.
We'll use it when it matters, okay? That's when we use it.
Cool.
In this case, it mattered. It hit him, and he falls over from the strike.
Holding
Ugh.
the dead corpse in your.
Gross.
Yeah, you got this body of cutthroat in your hand now.
You got a weapon.
You grabbed him so hard he died in your hand.
Bludgeoning damage.
Let's see, I think that's it for Dallett.
Yeah, that's all my attacks.
Okay, back to our thugs and their volleying attacks here. Let's see. So the one on the north roof is gonna go first. So I think he is no longer stunned, and he is going to reload his weapon. Let's see.
He actually reloaded last time. He missed one turn.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Reloaded.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So he's shooting at the elf here. Is 19 hit Fenwarden?
No.
No. Okay. And then he's gonna do reload, which is his second action. Third action, he's gonna fire his last shot here and miss horribly. So let's see what happens to him. Okay, so he'll have an AC penalty next round as well.
Tumbles. Does he fall off the roof?
I could have, you know what? Let's have him make an athletics check. Let's say this is a DC, I don't know, 16 to stay up, to stay on his feet and on the roof. Okay, so he just makes it.
Barely. Okay.
Now the southern roof gentleman has lost his arrows and sees the scene unfolding here. He is going to jump down from the corner of the roof here where he's at to street level with his first action, and with his second action he is going to charge in here. Let's see how. Yeah, he can just make it. And with his third action he will attempt to strike towards Dallett, who's having his way with his dead friend.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I scrolled back up, and there is an effect for a critical failure for a living creature on Chill Touch. He's enfeebled for 1 round, enfeebled 1. So he'll be enfeebled 1 until the beginning of my turn.
Okay, I'll put a little dot on him. Remind me that's important. Yeah. All right, so that's a hit against Dallett for the first time in a long time.
Oh yeah.
You finally felt steel puncture your flesh again. It's been a minute, Dallett. It's like it brings you back. It just brings you
Yeah.
back, right back to.
Wakes you up.
So a couple points of slashing damage from this one. He's all out of actions though. The other one that's remaining is the one that you just mentioned, who is enfeebled. He's enfeebled for. What does that mean? He just enfeebled for 1
round.
Yeah.
All right. What does that mean? Does he get any actions at all, or are they just weakened actions?
I want to say it's
It's a penalty to everything.
strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for strength based. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he is still gonna start swinging here. He still has some fortitude. Who does he want to target now? I think he'll continue to target Dallett with his first strike, or excuse me, Reckla with the first strike. Ooh, definitely a miss. And to kill with his second strike, he's gonna think that this gnome might be too difficult, so he's gonna turn and try to swing at the larger target with his second strike. I think that's a miss. 19. Actually, you would also be flanked here. So it'd be 21. Does 21 hit Dallett?
No, that misses.
Okay. All right. That is it then. He's got one last action. I think he will take a step back here, which he can do. So that's it for our thugs. Back to Sydney, your turn.
Okay, so Sydney with, let's see here. Take a step back, check these real quick. Manipulate spells provoke an attack of opportunity, correct? Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna stick him, man. Let's just stick him. He's enfeebled, he's everything else. First I'm gonna move, just to get him. I'm gonna move here. And I have mobility now. So as long as I move less than half my speed, it won't provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
And my speed is like obscene. So I'll do that to get the flank to do the stabby stab. So first action to move, second action to stab.
Yeah, and you got
Sorry, I'm
the
trying to get
flanking.
it.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You got the flanking bonus here, so it'd be a 17 there, which unfortunately still misses.
Okay. And then I will move away. And I'm gonna move to there. And that'll be my third action, my last action.
All right. Back to the rooftop, Fenwarden.
Okay, Fenwarden's going to move over to his foe there. And does he have any other weapons, like a sword on him or anything like that?
Yes, he does. He does look like he has a short sword on his side.
Great. I would like to grab that. I'm not sure exactly how that works. If that's a grapple.
Yeah, he's wearing the weapon, so it's a little bit different than if he was carrying the weapon.
If I wanted his crossbow, I would do a disarm.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in this case, it's similar to disarm, but it's more like a grapple. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll do athletics versus fortitude. Let's just do that. I mean, unless you have thievery or something like crazy like that would be on the nose, but otherwise I think athletics versus fortitude's good.
Yep. Okay, athletics.
Not so fast, elf.
Didn't get it that time, huh? Okay, one action left. I'm gonna shove him.
Okay. Okay, I think this is gonna be similar, right? Where
Athletics versus fortitude.
fortitude, yeah. Okay.
I bet I'll do better this time.
I think he might. He does not have the best fortitude, I can say that. He did well on that last roll. Right. Let's see how he does here.
He goes back 5 feet.
Yes, and he goes down 10 feet in addition to that. And he is going to take some damage along the way here. So I think, what is it per 10 feet?
Good question.
I think it's D8, but I'm not sure. I'll double check it. It's
Damage.
bludgeoning. Oh, it's
More than 5
it's
feet, you take damage.
you just
equal
divide
to
it by
half
2.
distance.
You just
Yeah.
divide the distance by 2, and that's the damage. Okay, that's good to know. So he's going to take 5 damage from the fall, which is his
And
first.
he's prone. Says he lands prone.
Yeah. I'll leave him marked as prone. Go ahead.
Let's see, and it says I can stride after him if I want to go after him. Yeah, I think I'll follow him off the roof.
Okay. All right. Can jump back
And
down.
land on him.
Yeah, are you trying to do anything spectacular there, or are you just trying to land near him?
Just try to land near him without being prone. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anything else? Is that
I think that's it.
all right? All right, Reckla. Back to
All
you.
right, Reckla gonna do another combo of chill touch on the guy directly to the south of him.
Cap, fortitude. Okay. Which one was this? Nice. Okay, yeah, you take a big chunk of damage off of him.
Right, and follow that up with the classic guidance to Dallett.
It's your encore every show.
I mean, it's the one action people can't get enough of.
That's right. That's true. All right, Dallett.
All right. I will turn my attention to the guy next to the one that I just killed.
Yeah.
Attack on
Are you gonna continue to hold him? Because I imagine like you ended your turn, and like you have this guy still in your hand, and you've been holding
Just-
him,
The
lifeless
next guy.
body.
Keep him in one hand and hit with the other.
Okay. All right. I buy it.
See
Oh
what
my
happens.
god. What? Okay. So this is
Lights out.
yeah. You just killed the other one.
All right, cool. I guess I'll turn my attention to the last one that's nearby, still holding the body. You know what? Never mind. That seems excessive. I was thinking about grabbing the other one, kicking the last one, but that seems mean.
Oh yeah. That's up to you for sure. It would be
Yeah, I'll grab the other one and just throw a kick at this one here. I guess that's just an unarmed strike. Oh, wait, let me do a second attack there. Yeah, that's the 11.
if you want to use the guidance on the second one, that would hit.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it that way. So yeah, you're able to kick him pretty hard, definitely causing some significant damage. But he is still upright, but not looking great.
I will. Yeah, that will be my third attack. So I'll try to do another kick there. Wow.
Yeah, that's a
Ow.
miss, critical miss.
I'm gonna hero point that
Okay.
because I don't think there's many other things we're gonna get to tonight that'll.
I think it's a good time to spend it right here because this would be a obscure effect.
Go for style points here.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, unfortunately that one misses, but it was an epic turn. And worth the hero point for sure.
I imagine I'm quite the vision right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost want to put an intimidation modifier on this guy who's just watching you hold his two comrades, lifeless bodies. All right, so it is to him, and he is going to have to make a couple swift decisions here. I'll start with him first since he's so engaged. Okay, he's going to reach down to his side and retrieve a bottle, and he's going to drink said bottle.
Oh.
Yeah. He seems like his spirits may have been lifted by this quenching. He's going to drop the bottle and then swing his short sword, returning fire towards Dallett with his last action. He does not have the flanking bonus, so I think that's a miss, right?
Yep, that's a miss.
Okay, so he misses on his sword attack, but he looks like he's healed himself a bit. The other one is now face-to-face on ground level. He's got to get himself up with his first action, and with his second action, Fenwarden, he will unsheath his short sword that you tried to steal from him, and with his third action, he will try to give it to you with the wrong end. And
Drop it.
yeah, he might. They're not rolling too good. Is that a fumble?
That's a fumble.
It is a fumble. Yeah. There you go. You asked for it. He rolled a 3, so yeah, that's deserving. This weapon, yes.
Sweet.
Nice, called it. All right, so he's spilled his weapon on the ground.
And he's out of
And he's out of action, so he can't do anything. Sydney, back to you.
Yeah, so Sydney is going to, I've never done this, so we're going to give it a try. I'm going to use Hand of the Apprentice to throw my corset dagger at him. And then on its way back, I'm going to use it as my telekinetic projectile.
Nice, okay.
So it's 1 action for Hand of the Apprentice and then 2 actions for the telekinetic projectile.
All right, and in this case, it's 26.
It's absolute crap damage, but
Yeah, 6 damage. Okay, yeah. So you smack this guy once again, and he's still upright, but yeah, he's taking a few shots. I think we're at Fenwarden.
Oh, good. Fenwarden's going to pick up a short sword that's laying on the ground. Grab that guy's weapon. And let's see. I don't have a short sword I don't have a mundane short sword on my list, so let's see. I'll roll an unarmed fist and we'll modify from there for the, I think the damage would be all it's different, right?
Yeah, you can just roll that
Okay.
separate.
27, and the damage for a short sword should be 1d6. Strength modifier is 2, so 1d6 plus 2. Oh, 3 points.
All right. Hit him with his
And
own sword.
yep, he'll take a second attack. Did I hit? Probably not.
No, that's a miss.
All right, he's done.
All right, Reckla.
Okay, Reckla's gonna send a daze at this guy.
All right, so he's will. Fails. Critical fails. Stunned 1. Okay.
And
I'm sorry, this is the one to your right.
and then a little
Guidance. All right.
yeah, guidance for Dallett.
We have a new player visiting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody
Hi.
had a nightmare.
Oh,
Oh,
we're having our own little. The thugs are having their own little nightmare here on the street now. Let's
that
see.
cat looks so soft.
he really is.
Yeah, there you go. Look at the.
Ball.
Also, so calm.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's very calm.
Yeah.
amazing. You allow her to hold her like that already.
Mhm.
That's good. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Where did we leave off?
I gave guidance to Dallett, and then it was
Yep.
Dallett's
Oh,
turn.
the encore. I should have known. Should have
Yeah.
known. I see. I didn't.
I am going to, for my first action, give the guy a chance to run, and I will try to do my best to hold up the 2 that I'm holding, and say that I'll give you a chance to run before I start.
Okay. All right. I think you should do yeah, you should bang them like a
Intimidation
drum.
there.
Like, yeah. All right. So let's see, what is his? I guess it's will. Yeah.
I'd run for sure.
Okay. He's gonna run. He's gonna start to run.
Reckla's thinking about running.
Since you're pausing to give him, his chance to run, well, let's see.
Yeah.
All right. If that guy's disappearing, then I will. Is that guy running, by the way? I'll just make sure
Yeah,
that he's...
yeah. He basically takes off. He starts running up this alley northward, and he can make it. You can still see him if you're trying to pursue him. He's not out of sight yet,
Oh,
but
you know
he's
what?
bolting.
No, I won't take an attack of opportunity. See you leaving. That seems mean. So I'll drop those 2 and go over to this one and make an attack.
All right. Damn. That is a hard hit, my friend. Okay, that's
That's gotta be a major.
Gotta be.
that is it. Yeah, that is gonna be the final shot. So how did you do this? Because I imagine he's still engaged with Fenwarden, so he has no idea Dallett's coming up on him, right?
No. We'll call this a devastating flying punch. Just drop the 2, turn around and run, and just dive in and just swing straight down.
Nice. So he falls lifeless to the ground. The black tier or the cutthroat has already coming back to them. He's running up the street. I've used his actions to run him up the street. So
I'm going to pursue him.
Yep. That's what I was gonna do. Is we'll give you a chance to do what you'd
Yeah.
like to do.
I am going to. My move speed is now 50 because of the Wand of Longstrider, because it's the 10 status bonus on top of my 40. So I'm going to pretty easily be able to keep up with him. Once I get within close to him, I could get there to him, but
Yeah, you
I'm
can get
just
to him
gonna
right
go
now. You could get to him right now in a straight line and then still attack.
Yeah, I'm not gonna attack him. I'm actually just going to pursue him and then cast invisibility when I get a chance and disappear, and I am going to follow him to wherever the fuck he decides to run off to.
Ah,
Okay, so you want
Good.
to trail him. Got
Yep.
it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Very good. How about Fenwarden? Anything you'd like to do here in the waning moments of the battle?
Let's see. Yes, I will keep the short sword and gather up a crossbow and some crossbow darts, just in case we have more company.
Okay. All right. How do you like your new short sword? Does it feel okay, or
Very
is it...
fun.
Okay, yeah. It's probably not up to your standards, I wouldn't think.
No, I'll use it as a paperweight when we get back. So.
Yeah, letter opener maybe, right?
Yeah.
All right, Reckla, anything you want to do in the last moments of this battle?
He'll turn to the steward and say, "So you're saying something about dinner?"
Seems to have worked up an
uh,
appetite.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I seem to have lost
Beaver
mine. I
tail.
seem to have lost mine, but I'm sure the beaver tail will be served again, sir. We will see to it. We know how much you... We've never seen anyone eat as much as you did. And I guess then that's it. I think that everyone's had a chance then to act here, specifically in the combat portion. We'll track Sydney and the thug separately as you're following him through the city. The rest of you, what do you want to
Fenwarden
do?
will channel his inner thief and go through these guys' pockets just to see if there's anything of interest.
Definitely. Okay. So let's see. Also, if the three of you who are back at the scene can roll perception checks.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So you are able to recover a coin purse from each of the thugs, the three here, for a total of 12 gold and 9 silver. And let's see, they each had a short sword, they each had crossbows with bolts accompanying those. What else do they have? They each have a dagger. Again, these are things I know I'm only mentioning because I know you're not armed at the moment. And let's see, one of them is wearing a ring that's engraved with an insignia on it that you don't quite place at the moment. But you also find that they are carrying a couple of small vials.
Oh, that guy did drink a vial, didn't he?
So there's
Is Sydney that's able to identify this stuff for us? We might just have to carry it around until Sydney gets back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's actually a total of, let's see, how many vials are there? There are 3 vials, and then there are 2 potions.
Are you getting this down, Scott?
Yeah, I'm just starting it now.
3 vials.
Let me
2
know if you need
potions.
me to repeat anything.
There's 3 vials of whatever, right? And then 2 potions.
Potions. We
Yeah.
got
A ring.
12 gold.
Yeah, a ring with a unknown
mark.
insignia, and then you got the gold and silver, 12 and 9.
Right.
Yeah, outside of that, they are wearing leather armor as well. That's pretty much the rest of their outfit is pretty mundane.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, you're gone. There goes your treasure, guys. It's gone. Reckla
He
took
took off
off.
with it.
Reckla, Sydney's out of here. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so you guys also, as you're looking around, you notice like some passerbys that heard the battle, and a couple of folks like might even be as bold enough to be, "Are you okay? What happened?" But for the most part, like the steward is like waving people off. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is just normal
Tuesday.
business. Like waving people off, like handling the crowd a little bit and distracting from whatever went down. But yeah, so as that sort of happens, Sydney, you're tracking back through the city, following this individual, and they're doing they're definitely taking a lot of steps to evade you. But what we're gonna do is do a little bit of tracking.
Oh, I am invisible too, so like they can't even.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast invisibility whenever I get an opportunity.
Okay, yeah, so if you cast invisibility, then we won't have to do any rolls for it necessarily, but you would
think that lasts,
notice
like,
that
every
if you want to do, what would it be? I guess it would be,
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
yeah, 10 minutes, okay. So you're able to see that this person is like pausing. They're like finding a doorway and waiting there, and then they're changing alleyways. They're definitely doing a lot to try to make sure that they're not being tracked and followed, pausing and doing what you would do. Seem like they're someone that's pretty well trained in evasion, which has got to be like interesting for you to watch firsthand without them being able to see you. But ultimately, they finally let their guard down and continue to walk through the town and through the city to a what appears to you to be a pretty nice dwelling. If you'll make I think this is probably the political lore.
Have that, yeah.
Yeah, do the political lore, please.
Yep.
Okay. This dwelling is sitting in a really nice area of town, and as you're looking around at some of the symbols and heraldry that's displayed on some of these structures, one of the ones that catches your eye is what does this look like exactly? Let me see. It is a crest of a ship with 5 stars over top of it. And I don't know what your background is for, like, how much time you've spent in Restov.
I'm a Brevik outcast, so I'm a former noble of Brevoy.
Yeah. Okay. What you're looking at is again on one of the adjacent houses to this, but it's alarming to you that you would see this symbol, and the symbol is for the House Sertova, which you would know as being one of the most powerful noble houses in Restov.
Okay.
And you find it odd that this individual would be going to a dwelling in this neighborhood and one that's adjacent to something associated with them, especially since they're in power in Restov. They're in power currently, and they have more power than Lady Jamandi, and so
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do I know their relationship and their political affiliation in comparison to Lady Jamandi?
yeah, you definitely are able to, with that role, you can piece together that you know that there is some tension in the city, that and there has been, about basically it's about you all and the giving away of the stolen lands or the gnarl marches or the kingdom that is yet to be named. It definitely has caused some tension amongst the nobles here and resentment on the fact that Lady Jamandi has had some success while others have chartered groups that have not. And I think that would be why you're suspicious a little bit when you see this, right? Those would be the things that wouldn't sit right with you. Why would there be this proximity? It just doesn't seem right. And the fact that this person went to such length to avoid being followed it just has your senses tingling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Um,
what would you like to do at that point? Return to the
I'm not gonna follow him into the house. That seems like a very poor decision. Is there anywhere what's the neighborhood like? Is it just all residential and all like noble houses? Or is there
Yeah.
nothing other than this house and it's like off to its side?
No, there is an open square, like a courtyard area between some of these homes that you could mill about without looking out of place.
That's exactly what I'm gonna try and do and keep an eye to see if dude comes back out.
Okay. How long do you plan to stay around?
Maybe like an hour.
Okay. All right.
So I imagine the rest of the crew is gonna make it back to Lady Jumanji's before I make it back that way.
Yeah.
But after about an hour, I'll give it up and head out too.
Okay. So we'll bring you guys back to the manor while this is happening. We'll get Sydney back in a second. And but yeah, you return to the manor. Your steward has brought you in and through the same entrance that you left in and brings you back to the main hall. At which point some of the guards, she alerted the guards to what happened, and you're quickly addressed by one of the captains who gets a description from you of what happened. What was your plan with the bodies? Did you leave them lay where they were and we'll go and get them type of thing? Or what would you guys have done there?
We might have arranged them on the corner on the curb where they usually leave the trash.
Yeah.
Right where they belong. So
Yeah.
we'll send a contingent over to pick them up and do a deeper dive into what they might be up to. But it was our mistake to let you leave without a security detail. Obviously, your word of your arrival is reached far and wide in the city, and there are some that would welcome you and others that would soon have dispatched of you, and I'm glad that you were able to overcome this threat. But from now going forward, we won't let you leave without some security with you. With that, Lady Jamandi, is you could tell, scolded them already before they even came to talk to you. You could see that their tails between their legs, that it was a loophole on their part, and she blames no one but them for what happened. She does come back to you all and apologizes for the behavior of her city. She says, I'm sure you're used to cruelty roaming about in the stolen lands, but one should not be afraid to walk the cities of Restov. For that, I promise that we will keep a close eye on you and make sure you are safe going forward. See, I guess with that,
Well,
you would...
fortunately, her city's just a little bit cleaner now, so.
This is true. I guess after, a little while, Sydney, you would come back from your tracking endeavor, and I'll let you decide how you want to relay or not relay any of what was observed as you return back to the manor as well.
I'm probably not going to share it in front of Lady Jamandi, but I will share it with the rest of the group if we get a chance. If we get a chance at the table, she's talking to somebody else, I would share it with them. But I will leave it to the boss's discretion as to how much they want to tell Lady Jamandi about it.
So where I guess we'll tee up, what we'll tee up is that Lady Jamandi has informed you that there will be some nobles and dignitaries that are coming to meet all of you, and they want to invest in your kingdom and talk about the future of your kingdom. Ultimately, what will happen is there will be a ceremony to recognize your kingdom as well, so that this will be the critical juncture at which your name will come into play. So that's what you're on the verge of, is that meeting where those formalities will take place. And so in the preparation of that, she'll be attending to that, and you'll have a chance to relay to the others what you saw. And I'll let you guys talk about that for a second if you want to contemplate any of what he observed.
And just a reminder, it was, in case anybody wasn't paying attention because of when they're seen, it was a crest of ships with 5 stars, and it was House Servota, which is the most powerful houses in Restov, but not a declared rival, from what I understand, of Lady Jamandi, more of a jealous onlooker.
Yeah, House Sertova.
Okay.
Are any of you the others from Restov, or what? I forget now what each character's background is in terms of the time you've spent in Restov and how familiar you are with the government and city.
I think
Fenwarden, I don't think he's from those
Yeah,
parts.
I knew you were a hill elf or woodland elf, right? Yeah.
Woodland elf, yeah.
Reckla only had some minor interactions with the city when traveling with some military units and stuff, so he doesn't really know too much about the city or the area, really.
Okay. All right. So I think that maybe you guys, these names and these families and these houses just all sound another story, another place, maybe not as personally attached to it or have experienced a lot of it, but maybe for Sydney, you would be able to relay the way that Restov operates with really what is a little bit more than a handful of noble houses that sort of shift power amongst one another depending on who's most successful now, right? And House Sertova has been in the ruling family for some time, but their rulership has actually been positively received. So there hasn't been a lot of drama during their rule as there have been in other house rules. This definitely gives you more of a sense of that if this were true, it would definitely be create a lot of instability and inner turmoil in the city that might get triggered. I think maybe Sydney can give you a sense of that in her explanation as she's describing what she saw. But yeah, other than that,
I would definitely share all of that. I just wouldn't share it with Lady Jamandi. My allegiance is to the bosses, not to Lady Jamandi. They're the ones that suck. So.
Okay. All right. Then I think then if after that has been relayed and you're all beginning to contemplate what that might mean, some guests start to arrive and the chamber starts to fill with what appear to be some very finely dressed and noble patrons. Some quite interesting, definitely, representation here from near and far. Definitely a lot of Restovian nobles, but definitely others from outside of your region as well, which would give you the sense that of just how maybe important your little settlement is or has become, that such a gathering would be held in your honor and in honor of what you're about to establish. You definitely get the sense that these are either people who have the ability to rule or have power and influence throughout the region, and they may or may not be in the pocket of Lady Jamandi or in the pocket of House Sertova, right? There's definitely a blend of interest, a blend of noble representation here, and basically they're going to start into this formal ceremony. So we'll pause it there. I don't want to get into that, I guess, but before we do adjourn, it sounded like there might have been a couple ideas for the name of the kingdom, and maybe what we got to do is just put a poll out there and just let you all vote, because I think that might just settle it. If you want to do that, we could throw together a poll. I could grab all the suggestions and just throw a poll and I could even throw it into like the tavern on the channel and let other people vote if you want to let the channel vote on it, or if you just want it to be contained to the party. It's up to you all.
I almost feel like it's worth just letting a die decide it for us.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can do that too. So we'll make a table. We'll get all of the names teed up for next session, and we'll roll a die, and that's how we'll name the party. Unless
Cool.
anyone else has any other ideas before now and then. But
Yeah,
all right.
that sounds good to me.
So yeah, anything else, guys, that you wanted to mention or anything before we wrap up?
Quick question in terms of learning spells. Do I need to buy the ingredients to do that, or can I just mark off gold as I take downtime to do that?
Yeah, my general rule is if a component is less than 100 gold, I'm not gonna get too worried
Okay.
about it. But if you're talking about
Yeah, it's
components
just
that have value, that will have to work out.
yeah. No, it's just generic pay. I think it's half the cost or something. There's a table.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
To find that to be a lot more fluid mechanically, and I don't care about micromanagement of inventory, so I think that's a good medium.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
Okay. All right, then next time the die will decide, and I'll put together a little table, and we'll figure out who wants to roll it, and then we'll host this recognition party and go from there. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right.
Thanks. Good
Thank
seeing y'all.
Yeah, good to see everyone.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, take care all. Bye bye.
Mm.